Listen up, this will only take a second.
Welcome to the show. You are one-on-one with Wes the Sports Guy here on YouTube and streaming online all the time at westhesportsguy.com. Make sure you subscribe and hit that Liberty Bell button to get all the latest videos and updates on YouTube, and bookmark westhesportsguy.com as well to get all the latest posts, weekend reviews in the NFL, and baseball offseason's heating up. It's a hot stove time. You're going to see a lot of updates there as well. As it was teased here going into this video, there will not be any discussion of sports this week. I know that comes as a shock. I mean, I am a sports guy. Why am I not talking about sports? But basically, I just wanted to get to the nuts and bolts of it here in the beginning of the video. I'm going to go off script, kind of off the cuff. Also, I might, spout off and say some words that might not be appropriate for little children. So if you do have little children that do watch these videos, I suggest that you let them watch something else. Be preoccupied with other things. Going to get to a little bit of a serious discussion here this week here on One-on-One with yours truly. Basically, the nuts and bolts of it is that I'm going to be taking the rest of the year off. Nothing serious is happening. It's nothing that is medically speaking or personal to that nature, thank God. We're not, going through anything like that, thankfully. Basically, it's just to essentially retool, reshuffle a few things, and to also pursue some other avenues. What I got into this, doing my own channel, essentially, is not to make money. Be nice. I mean, who doesn't want to make money? That's not what I'm doing for this. I mentioned to a few people that the reason why I was doing this was kind of for my own sanity, and I kind of said that in a joking way. Nothing serious again. Basically, I just did it because I like talking about sports. It's what I have done ever since I can remember. I mean, this is what I do. This is my hobby. This is a habit of mine. This is what I enjoy doing. And if I want to share that, not just with family and friends, I want to share that with you, I have an avenue to do that. We live in amazing times, and this is a great avenue and a great tool to provide this kind of information to you. And I know it's a lot of opinion-based stuff, and there's a lot of other competitions out there, and I do appreciate you checking me out here on YouTube and at westhesportsguy.com. I see you. I appreciate you checking in. But basically, I'm not doing it for notoriety of any kind. It's basically my hobby, and I enjoy bringing that to you. And if you enjoy it, I personally thank you very much for that. Another thing I like and I enjoy is history. And you might think, like, really? You like history? Well, to be more specific about it, it's this great country that we live in, and I like knowing how it became and how it's evolved into what it's become nowadays. And you can be very pessimistic about our country. We've done some pretty bad things in our history. We've also done some really great things in our history. And it's very convoluted a lot of times when you try to get to the nuts and bolts, the real nitty-gritty part of how things became. And it gets very convoluted, and it's just a lot of muck, and it just starts to divulge into what you have in society nowadays, unfortunately, where you have a lot of people going back and forth with each other and calling each other names. Don't even want to actually get to the point of whatever conversation was started. You want to be civil with one another, but it just devolves into just utter crap. And I'm sick and tired of seeing it that way. I'm not saying I have the solution to that problem. There's a lot more problems going along with that, unfortunately, but I like to bring information to you. So what I've thought about doing and what I'd like to pursue also is another avenue involving history, where it's kind of like a more informative little animation type of thing into some historical events that have happened in this country's history. And I want to bring you the facts, not any opinion based on my side, but I want to bring it to you in a very entertaining and informative way that I would like to think a lot of people could use and learn from. One of the things that I've always thought about doing in my life, and that goes back even to, my younger days in middle school and high school, was to be a teacher. And I like to teach people basically a new way of learning whatever topic it may be. Now, it doesn't have to just be sports. It doesn't have to just be history. It could be, technology. It can be, using a computer, using your phone, using a tablet, even hooking up your television. I mean, I like showing people how things work, and I also want to help, and I want to be as helpful as I possibly can be. And that's something that I just like to do. And if you like doing that, you have many avenues out there to help people and to better not just them, but better yourself as well. And that's something that has definitely humbled me going forward into adulthood now, which is, quickly approached in almost an instant, you could say. But essentially, I that's another avenue I'd like to do. I'm also, I like to laugh. I like watching lots of funny shows, to name a few. Simpsons and South Park are one of the best ones that I continue to watch today. Lots of other great comedies out there as well. Funny movies, pretty much any movie in general. But I've thought about doing something funny and not so much relatable, but just, want to let that inner child out. I want to be able to have people laugh and take your mind off of everything else for a little bit. And I want to, again, that goes with the informative and entertaining aspect that I like to do, not just on this show, but other avenues that I want to pursue. So I will keep you posted. I will let you know when things are rolling on that side. Nothing is set in stone right now, but that's just me brainstorming with you right now. And that's part of why I'm going to be taking the rest of this year off to just basically brainstorm those ideas, but also to revamp this show as well. If you haven't kept count, this is the 35th episode of this show. And as you can see, it's not the most studio-based show that you can find. It's definitely, I wouldn't say your parents' garage type of thing, but it is my place. And this is not all of it, of course. I'm not sharing everything with you, but this is part of my place where I'm at right now. And I want to change things up a little bit. I want to make it a little more professional, not so much for, the money-making aspect of it. If that comes along, great. If not, so be it. I'm not doing it for that, like I said in the beginning. But I definitely want to change things up a little bit, make it look a little more professional going forward. So that's another reason why for the time off. And basically getting into another reason why I decided to not talk about sports this time is to get a little bit more personal when it comes to helping people. And one thing, especially that you look at our country's history, is the fact that, we did participate in the slave trade, unfortunately. Those days are long gone, thankfully. But looking back, especially at the time that really piqued my interest with our country's history, was the Civil War. The fact that we could actually go to war with each other. And the main reason was for slavery. You could, go along with many other issues that were coming along as well during that time frame, but slavery was at the forefront of the issue. And it's a very noble thing to want to just get rid of it and be done, be out of it, and it's over with. And that's what really got my interest going with this country's history, and the fact that we can go to war with something that was just so heinous and evil and came out of it a better country, obviously. We can get into, the hows and the whys before then and everything else. I've have a lot of information that I would love to share with you now, but I'm not going to, about how it got to that point and things of that nature and things that you've never known. And I didn't know before until recently, finding out about our country's history with that topic in mind. But anyway, what I'm getting to is seeing how that was all playing out in abolitionists and those people, the Underground Railroad, all that stuff starting up to free people because it's their basic human right to live for the most part. First and foremost, you have a right to live. You have a right to pursue your own happiness in this country. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those are the three benchmarks for this country when it was founded. And it applies to everybody. And that was something that, looking at it from that perspective, if I was around in that time, sure, I would absolutely be an abolitionist. I'd probably go that step above and beyond, not just, fighting for their right to exist and to be free in this country, but also to help them in any way possible. And part of that is the inspiration for why you see me wearing this beanie, this t-shirt from time to time on this show. It stands for OUR, the abbreviation for Operation Underground Railroad. It's an organization that goes around the world and is combating modern day slavery. And it's especially affecting children all over the world. They are kidnapped in most cases. They're groomed to not just be slaves, but also in sex trafficking. It is perhaps one of the most evil things that exists in our world today. And this is an absolute fact that more people are in slavery modern day today than they were in the entire existence of the slave trade back in, the 1400s all the way through, to the end of the Civil War. More people are in slavery today than there were in those times. And that's a shocking fact that I came to know just over a year ago. But anyway, I'm wearing this, beanie and this t-shirt in this video to basically promote the fact that I am a lifelong monthly contributor to this organization, Operation Underground Railroad. You can go to rrescue.org and check out, don't take my word for it, please, on anything. Look it up for yourself, but you can go to rrescue.org and see what they're doing on a daily basis. They give constant updates. They are doing great things. Not only are they rescuing these children, it's not just a rescue and go back to your life type of thing. They just let them do their thing. No, they rescue them and they rehabilitate them and they basically help them get back to a life of normalcy. They do not abandon them at all. And every single penny that you donate to this organization goes to that cause, to help them and to give them a better life. And I can't say any more glowing things about this organization. It's definitely affected me for the rest of my life, and I hope it does the same for you as well. Especially with a lot of the things that are going on. Donate to any cause that you want. That's perfectly fine. This is something that's affected me personally, and it's opened my heart to avenues I didn't think could be possible. One quick thing before I finish this video. I know we're going a little long here, but I appreciate you sticking around. I have some fears. We all do. Nobody's perfect. We all fear about a lot of things. I'm afraid of heights. You can tell in some of those pictures I shared when I went to the Empire State Building in New York, I was terrified. I was freaking scared. Sucked it up, took the pictures, and got out of there as fast as I could. But anyway, great experience. I'm afraid of heights. But another thing that it's not haunting me so much, but it's just something that's always in the back of my mind now is what will my legacy be when I'm gone? I don't have children. I'd like to have children. I have 4 nephews and 2 nieces. It's 3 brothers, 2 of them are older, 1 of them's younger. it's one thing that's just always in the back of my mind. What do I want my legacy to be? Do I really want to be known as just a sports guy? No, I don't. And that's never been my goal when I started delving into this and possibly trying to make a career out of this. My legacy, I would like to say going forward, will be more than just being the sports guy. It is somebody that took action for noble causes and, yes, had a little fun on the side as well. Not going to be a stickler for, the usual, fuddy-duddy kind of crap and just sitting on your butt all day kind of thing. But I like to say that, for Operation Underground Railroad, Mercury One's another great organization. Travis Mills Foundation, lots of veterans organizations. There's so many I can name right now. They're just fantastic. I've donated to quite a few of them, but I am definitely lifelong donator. Yeah, this is near and dear to my heart. I cannot say enough good things about this organization. Operation Underground Railroad, ourrescue.org. Please consider donating to them. They are just a fantastic organization. I cannot say enough good things. Thank you for sticking out with me for 35 episodes. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. Have a great, great holiday time. Hanukkah, Christmas, all that stuff coming up. I wish you all a very happy and safe holiday season. I will see you next year for right here on One-on-One with What's the Sports Guy on YouTube, but make sure you do subscribe and hit that Liberty Bell button to get the updates for the next videos that are coming out. what'sthesportsguy.com for all the other great sports updates. I can't thank you enough for tuning in. I will see you next year.